What's up, y'all? I'm back. Did you miss me? Coming a little different this week. Got gang in with me. We're gonna be talking about podcasts around the city, and y'all gotta go listen and catch up to everybody.
Yo, it's your boy SB High Star Guy.
Gorgeously Red.
Killer KJ.
We HCG podcast when anything goes.
Hi, my name is Glow. My podcast is Conversations with Glow.
Guys, my name is Alicia. I have a podcast called Mommy's Boobs and Bags. We're in the middle of a relaunch, so be looking for that. But in the meantime, definitely go catch up. You can find us on all platforms where podcasts are available.
I'm King Blake, and my podcast is called Guns and Butter Podcast. You can catch us up on YouTube right now. We're in the works of getting Apple and Spotify this time, so just be patiently waiting. But we got some good stuff coming for you.
All right, y'all. So I'll let everybody get introduced. So now we're gonna get into the meat of it, see how they got started, what's going on, and why you need to listen. All right, y'all. So we're gonna start off over here with Blake and see what he has to say about his podcast and how he got started.
All right, so with Guns and Butter, the concept really is to teach, really to educate. What made us really start, I mean, I've been for years, probably about 4 or 5 years, just because, you know, the type of personality that I have. I was told that I need to start a podcast, but I just fell back from it and really never had the time. But when I got into a position where I was like, I got time to do it and I can really give back. So a lot of my, the Guns and Butter concept, like I said, is financial literacy, economics. So what I'm doing is bringing street guys, you know what I'm saying, dudes that's really lived a certain type of life. And I'm bringing their life the first like few episodes, and then we're going to transfer it to more legitimate people, to people who really, you know what I'm saying, that's more so got different types of hustles just to display it and what it is, like I said. So it's trying to educate the young dudes that's coming up so they can learn and know other ways, avenues of getting money other than just one way. You know what I'm saying? Or figuring these couple, you know, finesse moves and stuff like that.
Okay. Right, and so I did want to ask Alicia today, because I did hear you speak on the revamp or the relaunch.
Yes.
Why did you come to that conclusion? Like, what made you do that?
So a part of the reason why I started the podcast was so it could be an extension of my original business, which is called The Travel Outlier, a travel and lifestyle company. And I wanted it to mirror the day-to-day of me juggling, being an entrepreneur, being a wife, being a mom, and different things like that. So the podcast originally was for everyone to build within themselves, within their families, within their finances, hence Mommy's Boobs and Bags. But one of the reasons for the relaunch is because it wasn't making sense. And when I say it wasn't making sense, I mean in both terms. Sense, money, and sense as in why I'm doing it. There was no connection. So that's the reason for the relaunch, to kind of get it a little bit more closer to my brand as far as the traveling lifestyle. I think it's super important, especially as a person of color, and you know how I feel about travel in the Black community. Travel fosters creativity. So if you're not going anywhere, if you're stuck in the same place, you're really not being too creative. Yeah. So that's the reason for the relaunch. I have a name. I'm still playing around with the name, but I'm coming back. I'm coming back.
I'm waiting. I'm patient. Okay, so first we have financial literacy and education. Pretty much the same thing with who. What is your podcast about, Glow? Cause somebody like, I need some fun.
Right, it's just like, I don't want to say like it's
exactly what it is though.
I don't want to say like it's everywhere, but it's a conversation. So y'all know conversations just really just go any and everywhere. Like it can lead to any type of conversation. Right. So I don't know, like to be real with you, I didn't even come up with the name. My best friend actually came up with the name for me, and I was like, yeah, that's dope, because I would just literally like go up and like talk to people, have conversations, like people feel comfortable talking to me. So I was just like, so why not just, you know, put it out there and like have fun, but also educating at the same time. Like I have podcasts where I do by myself, where I just feel like that I just need to shoot something out to like probably like motivate somebody else that can possibly be going through the same thing that I'm going through. Okay. But like majority of it is just like, I don't want to say like fucking around, but it's just really having fun and just really talking about a whole lot of stuff that you won't catch a lot of people talking about. But again, on my lives on Facebook, like people really come out and they ask questions, like they be really engaging into it. So like I just like to have fun. So like it's motivating you, right? It's a conversation, it's educating you, it's doing all that good stuff.
Everything. I got you. All right, so we done made it back around the table. And so I want to hear from Anything Goes, what does podcasting mean to y'all?
Podcasting to me is first of all being yourself, second having fun, 3, 4, 5 is drink. You just have a ball, you know, you feel me? Like invite whoever. We done had credit repair people come, we done had strippers come, we done had motherfucking rappers, producers, singers, whatever you name it. We just had a 14-year-old on last week, and she got her own creation line, so she be doing bows and stuff, making shirts. She like, she been doing it for like a couple years, and she a young boss, so you know, like we had cleaning shows, we had like a fashion shows.
Oh, right.
But podcasting me, man, it's just basically just expressing your feelings, you know, just engaging with people and conversating with them. That's it. Just put it on camera.
It's
you know?
more we saw like a lot of upcoming people out here coming up, artists and just doing type of stuff. They haven't been put out like that, so we just go ahead and get it firsthand. What made them want to do it? How long they've been doing it, and so it's just like we put it on our page, and then they'll post it on their page, and just get it out there. Yeah. So we really like to get the beginners.
I think I'm the same way with my interviews. So not today. Y'all been doing it longer than me, but I definitely like the underdogs.
We got the Bratson bundles, the girls that did put the vending machine in the Anderson Mall.
Okay. I heard about that.
Yeah, we had got them right when they did their first lunch. That was real dope with them. They're young too. They're like 15, 16, 17.
Okay, that's what's
These babies is some entrepreneurs for real. So I am back with Ms. Glow, which I just found out is actually the OG in the room for podcasting. So,
me and Boo.
Yeah. Now, tell the people how you branded yourself. With because a lot of people are scared to invest in themselves.
And that's for real, because I was one of them. Like, I always made excuses like, oh, I don't got enough money. Oh, I gotta pay this. And it's just like, you know, me personally, I'm gonna just kick it to you like this. A lot of people just feel like that they have to have so much money to actually put like a podcasting together where it can actually just come from right here. How I started is, you know, going live on Facebook. I created a group called Conversations with Glow on Facebook. And then I was just like, okay, I was interviewing. My style at first was like interviewing. Then I was just like, I'm not really like digging the interviews. Like I want to talk. Like I was trying to be professional at first about it, but it was like, I mean, I'm still professional, but it was like, it wasn't me. Like let's get ratchet. You get what I'm saying? Like let's talk about this stuff that people don't even want to talk about. So I actually started on Snapchat first. When I was asking my questions on Snapchat, and I had a lot of feedback, like people would actually inbox me about the questions that I would put, and what I would do is take it from Snapchat and go post it on Facebook about how people, you know, commenting on there, and then, you know,
So you kind of basically build up to it.
Yeah.
From social media. Okay.
It's all what you put in. You gotta be able to put in, you know, the work or whatever, and also like believe in yourself and like don't doubt yourself. Like it's gonna come times that you're gonna doubt yourself, but you gotta overcome that. Like it was a lot of times like I don't even want to go on camera. I don't want to do none of that. But yeah, once I'm in there, I'm in there.
And Blue, I know you relaunched, but when you first launched Mommy's Boobs and Bags, what made you say, I'm doing a podcast?
So again, like I was saying initially, I wanted it to be an extension of my original brand. So for me, I think a podcast is a sales funnel. So if you're not familiar with a sales funnel, it's basically picture a funnel, big at the top, little at the bottom. Your podcast needs to be big at the top, little at the bottom, so you're bringing people inside of your business to then create some type of money or make some type of money, then you know they just kind of flow. So that's the original reason behind why I wanted to do a podcast. To bring people in, and then ultimately have them, once they get to know me, once they get to know my business, they can kind of support my business, book trips and things like that. So that's why I was saying originally why I just kind of shut it down, because it wasn't making any sense. Because although I did gain the listeners, they were there, and I'm still, and it's crazy that I'm shut down now, but I'm still gaining listeners. I have like over 3,000 downloads to this day, and I'm not even doing a podcast. But I needed those people that were listening to book vacations, to come to my blog, to understand what the Travel Outlier is about, to understand what Dream Travel Live Repeat is about. But that wasn't happening. So that's the reason why I just was like, you know what, maybe I'm not aligned the way I think I am, so let me just take a step back to kind of refocus and get everything again lined up. Because I believe one of the main reasons of a podcast is to kind of make money.
Exactly.
So that's part of the reason, like I say, why I end up stopping. And
All right, so we're gonna move on down to Guns and Butter now, and I want to know, Blake, where do you see your podcast in the next 5 years?
In the next 5 years, Guns and Butter should be in the next 5. That's a long time. I would say it should be at least on the East Coast. You know what I'm saying? And people hearing stories from, you know what I'm saying, strictly, you know what I'm saying, people in Greenville, people in Atlanta, Charlotte, will be it won't just be a base here in Greenville. Right now, it's grassroots, you know what I'm saying? It's just not starting, just not kicking out. So we're going to vertically integrate. And I mean, we plan on getting out there, man. I believe we're doing well for just starting up. We only like a month in, heavy putting out videos. And I mean, our feedback and our videos doing very well. So as far as spreading and getting the word out there, I mean, I think we should be global. We should be global in 2 years.
Listen, it ain't no shit.
You know what I'm saying? We should be global in 2 years. In 5 years, you know what I'm saying, everybody gonna know about Guns and Butter in 5 years. That's the answer. You heard it here first.
All right, so we're back to the other side of the table, and I'm gonna get with Anything Goes and see what's y'all's best networking tool.
Best networking tool. My best networking tool is face to face. You feel me? Like, I like to get out in the streets and touch the people. You feel me? Like, when I see somebody, introduce myself to them, get past the bullshit. You feel me? Give them a card, give them a shirt. Hey, holla at me. I want to do this with you. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you do, like, I'm gonna try to basically talk to you and be like, I want you to be on my podcast. I want you to come be a co-host on my podcast, because I feel like the more people I can get on it, the more people I connect with, you feel me? Like, you ain't nothing like a picture, but it's something to share. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can like a picture all day, but everybody ain't gonna share your success. You know what I'm saying? So, like, when I meet with people or see everybody, you feel me? I try to share shit on the story. So, like, it'd be Instagram. I just learned how to use shit. I really ain't a social media type person, man. Shit kind of hard, so I be relying on them. You feel me? But they don't know shit either. You know what I'm saying? So we gotta go get us some social media class. You know what I'm saying?
Nigga, like, I don't know some damn social media.
Really, word
shit.
of mouth and touch, like really just really see
Exactly.
people face to face. You feel me? Because I'm not, you know what I'm saying? Keep my mask on. I'm not here.
He went to school for that, so he got it in the bed when it's face to face.
Oh yeah. I went to school for marketing and stuff like that.
I know y'all mentioned y'all be booked up. So what makes a good co-host?
Somebody can vibe with you.
Yeah, and then Anything Goes is straight raw. Like, everybody come on there, they be like, can we cuss on here? The fuck, Anything Goes mean Anything Goes.
I get that.
Let's do whatever. Like, it's somebody's personality, somebody that laugh, talk, communicate, can vibe, like to interact. Nobody's just gonna stand on the side. Basically somebody that we feel, that's how Killer came in. Her and SB, they worked together, and she used to come just to support. And I saw she used to come support all the time. Like, I'll be like, damn. I was like, she come here all the time. So I was like, so then me and her start communicating, because I ain't no communicator like that. I gotta get to know you. And I liked her vibe, and I had asked him, I was like, we should ask KJ if she wanna be a co-host. I was like, cause I do need another female. Cause him and William be joning on me. So she was down with it, and that's how she came in on it.
That's what's up.
Alright, so next question. I want to know what podcast inspired you.
There's several that I follow and I pay attention to, and I like the content and the stuff that they deliver. Earn Your Leisure is one. They provide very great information as far as business, financial literacy, taxes, stock market. They have Market Mondays. They very educational. They teach. Another that I enjoy is Wall Street Trapper. He has his own page. He's on there a lot. Then I have Joe Rogan podcast. Joe Rogan's very in depth. He'll have some sharp dudes come on there. I like Mike Tyson's. Mike Tyson got a podcast. It's dope. But it's a lot of podcasts I follow and pay attention that inspire me, and it's just the content, the stuff they say. Also, Wallow, $1 Million Worth of Game with Wallow and Gilly the Kid. That's another good one. So all those, that's what, you know, and I'm sitting there watching them and I'm like, I know I can do it. I ain't saying I can do it better, but I can do it just as good. You see what I'm saying? So that was the inspiration what grew and just made me want to do mine.
Okay. What about you, Boo?
So for me, it was a little different. I was at a bad place, at a point where I needed that in my ear. A lot of times we get caught up in just the day-to-day and not having anything positive around us. So as soon as you don't, you get sucked in. So the podcast that I gravitated to, it's a podcast called Blessed and Bossed Up Podcast. And her whole concept is just pretty much making God the CEO of your business. So the more and more I started to grow within myself, within like who I was as a woman, stepping into full-fledged woman for real, and not be playing out here in these streets, she was who inspired me to kind of keep going. And from there, like I say, I started to build within myself, and I realized that was something that was needed. Especially in my age group, you don't really see that a lot. You don't really see anybody laying out their flaws and like, look, this is what it is, and I'm not perfect, but I still got X, Y, and Z. And to hear, pretty much like Blake was saying, to see it, it's like, you know what, I can do this. And the more and more I started listening to her, it was like I can do this. And strangely enough, she ended up becoming like a role model. And she had an event, and I was fortunate enough to go. So she taught us pretty much the basics of podcasting, the fundamentals of podcasting, understanding who your target audience is, understanding what your brand techniques is. That sales funnel that I was talking about earlier, she is the one who laid the foundation down for podcasting. So whatever message I have, because I have that foundation from her, I know I'm good with whatever I come out with. So Blessed and Bossed Up was the podcast for me.
Real, when I got started with my podcast, I wasn't even listening to nobody. Real talk. Like, nah, it was just something like that. I just, to be real with you, I just thought it was something that I made up on my own, because I was just like,
I'm the first one.
for real, like, ain't nobody, I mean, I ain't thinking, like, I was, like, going at my timeline or whatever. Like, I see it, like, to be real with you, like, what I saw, it wasn't podcasting, it was more of, like the blogging, like the Shade Room and Baller Alert and all that or whatever, and like Jason Lee, and like how they in front of the camera and they're just kicking shit and they just talking or whatever. Like I never thought of of it being a podcast until I was just like, I'm gonna make one. And then I was just like, as soon as I not signed up for it, but when I got to searching more on Instagram, because that's where it's at, Instagram, a lot of podcasters came out, and I was just like, oh shit, okay. So I started following, like, I ran up on them on Instagram, like everybody like on Instagram, and I was just like, I go listen to you. You got an episode, post it. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I do. Like,
it's like when you get a new car and you
thought you was on one with it,
and you right. Oh, this a whole community.
Oh, you just thinking it. Yeah, it is, and that's how I was just like, damn, that's dope. And then like with me, and I was just like, okay, I'm let me go back on Twitter, because I left Twitter alone for years. And I was like, let me creep back on Twitter. And it's gonna be 2 years since I've been on Twitter. And like I've gained like a family on Twitter. Like people really fuck with me. Like people that ain't never met me. Like
that's how social media is. Like
my Twitter
like that too,
like,
Instagram too.
Yeah,
like
I like my phone.
like it's really like, and I don't want to say like, oh, you know, I'm too good to not listen to nobody, but I really felt like that it was something that I came up on my own. Like I'm asking questions like, you know, if I create a podcast, would y'all listen to me? And that's how the, you know, my questions and stuff came about. And then, you know, started, you know, mingling with other podcasters in here, like even listen to Poop, you know, other people out here in the city. And it's just like, you know, I want to link up, and that's how it, you know, go.
what podcast inspired y'all or y'all currently listen to? Either one.
I'm gonna tell you what gave me the idea of starting a podcast. And they're not actually a podcast, but they put you in the mind of a podcast. I used to watch, well, I still do, Breakfast Club.
I love her.
So when they used to do all the Talk with Angelique and stuff like that, they have like different little things that podcasts do, but they are on the radio. And so then I started watching Lip Service with Angelique.
Oh yeah.
And then I started doing, one of my favorites is Drink Champs. So just watching them and listening to them and see how they have fun and they drink and stuff like that, just that right there really just motivated me to want to do it. And then when SB had reached out to me and asked me about it, I was like, damn, I've been thinking about that for years, but I would never put no money into it. I would just always be like, damn, I should do that, but I would never do it. And so once he was serious on it, I was like, fuck it. So when he started buying the equipment and then we started going searching and ordering shit, I was like, it's over with. We already done bought
Right, and that's how it is. If once you own there, it's just like, oh, okay, you all in the game, for real.
So once you got money invested.
I don't like to start something and don't finish it. Because it's like when you go get a club or a hair salon, you're not gonna have no booming service at the beginning. You know what I'm saying? You know you gotta build it and then you gotta put it out there, and it's something different you're gonna have to do to bring people in. Exactly. So it's like you go open up a bar tomorrow, this shit ain't gonna be jumping next week, next weekend. It'd be a while, but once it start jumping, that bitch gonna be jumping. Yeah. So I look at it like that. When we get out, our name is out there, but when it's out there how we want it to be, it's over with.
That's how I feel,
but we still got a lot of learning to do, and you know what I'm saying? Cause everybody fuck up, and then your conversation be off topic, and or we just be all over the place. But it take time. But that's the story we gonna be able to tell. You know what I'm saying? When we did our first podcast, it was dark as shit, but we figured it out, and now we got lights. We got the lights for it, but shit, it's probably some better lights we need to get. But right now, that's what we comfortable with. But it's just so much stuff with it. But at the end of the day, it's yours, it's your vision, and fuck what anybody else gotta say about it. You don't like my podcast? Oh well, I do.
That's also the beauty of it, though. You know what I'm saying? That's the beauty.
Alright, so tell the people where they can see your content and how they can reach out individually, promote yourself.
Oh, you can find me on Instagram _gorgeously red. That's with 2 double D's. I do Snapchat. You catch me on there at STARR. I don't do Facebook. Period.
You can find me on Instagram at _KAE_JAYY.
And you can catch me in the one-stop shop, man. SB Visions, SB High Star Instagram, HCG Podcast Instagram, SB High Star Facebook. You can just hit the DM. You want the merch, man. One-stop shop, hoodies, sweaters. Got the jogger suits coming soon. What else? Just a whole lot of stuff, man. Oh yeah, YouTube at HCG Podcast on YouTube. We only have stuff like 43. We need some more subscribers. Like and subscribe, you did. And what else we got? And that's it. No Twitter. I don't know how to do Snapchat.
Okay, so you can catch me on all platforms. Conversations with Glow. Again, that is AK. Instagram, conversation.with.glow. Twitter at conversationsg. Facebook, you can catch me, Gloria Glow Miller, or you can go like my page, Conversations with Glow, or also you can join my group at Conversations with Glow, and you need to come like and subscribe to my YouTube channel, which is Conversations with Glow. So yeah, just vote with me, man. Like I gotta that's what I am. Just come vote with me.
Okay, so you can find me on pretty much all social media across the board: IG, Facebook, Instagram, Twitter too. Alicia Brockman on Facebook, The Travel Outlier on Facebook. Instagram is the_travel_outlier. I know it's a little long, but it is what it is. Also, you can find us or come visit us on the website. It's thetraveloutlier.com. I like to consider it a digital destination for your travel and lifestyle needs. If you want to go catch up on all of the old podcasts that I had with Mommy's Boobs and Bags, you can certainly do that because it is on all platforms as well. And we still building within our families, within ourselves, and within our finances. You can catch me on Fridays for Financially Free Friday, where I just kind of update you guys on the progression of my debt-free journey. So yeah, I got a lot going on. Again, I know we are in the middle of revamping with the podcast, so definitely be looking out for that, as well as an ebook that I have coming out too. And I have merchandise. I like to consider it the Dream Travel Live Repeat collection. And I'm actually rocking my shirt today. So yeah, hit me up. I'm pretty dope, cool, come get all the vibes. Yeah, that's what we're doing.
And Guns and Butter, y'all can follow us on YouTube at Guns and Butter Podcast. Like and subscribe. Also give feedback. Let us know what we can get better. Let us know what you dislike. Let us know, like my first episode, we got caught up in saying a lot of stuff that females disagreed with. So I got that feedback and we cleaned it up since. So it's just, that's why it's good. But you can also follow me on Instagram at I am King Blake. Also the Guns and Butter Podcast. Also you can add us on Facebook as well. It's Guns and Butter Podcast as well. And we got merch as well. We got hoodies. If you're trying to get a hoodie, holla at me. If you're trying to get shirts, if you're trying to get hats, whatever trying to merchandise you're trying to get to support the brand, we got a lot of great content, a lot of great stories, a lot of great, and also not only is it financial literacy, it's also provide mentorship, and that's another thing that we want to apply to these young guys so we can get them in the right path.
Major.